January 29th. Mitchell says Malachi left home around 11:30. The family didn't know he was leaving, but later learned Malachi agreed to meet the driver and sell him a gun.
We had the location of Malachi's iPhone.
Early the next morning, she pinged her son's phone, and that address that she found brought her to this location close to I-20 off of Thornton Road. When she got here, she says she found 3 deputies but didn't see her son. That's when she went straight to the Douglas County Sheriff's Office.
And the first question they continue to ask me, how did you know to come to the location?
Deputies later identified Malachi as the person they found in the back of the vehicle they pulled over. Detectives questioned the driver and let him go.
There's nowhere on God's green earth that anyone can be reckless driving, running through red lights and have a deceased body in the car and walk away.
Outraged, Mitchell's emotional plea to the driver's family is,
do the right thing. Have some integrity about yourself.
All right. Peace and blessings, peace and blessings. All praises to the Most High. And this is another alarming story that has yet to garner a lot of news coverage. This happened in Douglasville, Georgia. Now, if you're not familiar with Douglasville, it's in Douglas County, a suburb about 32 miles from Atlanta. And you hear the mother of 21-year-old Malachi Mitchell explaining the situation. I'm going to play a couple of more videos that gives a little bit more context into the situation. But according to, the person who told me about this story, is that Malachi, and you'll hear this in the news clip, Malachi met this person, the driver, who is identified to sell a firearm. And you'll hear what the police are saying it happened during that interaction. But nevertheless, this person was eventually stopped. And as the mother said, running red lights, driving erratically with a deceased person in the front seat with them. And the police questioned him and then let him go. Now, I'm just like the mother. What part of the game is that? Tell me where they do that at, right? And then to add insult to injury, the mother pinged the phone. She pinged her son's phone, which brought her to a location where 3 deputies were. But her son was nowhere to be found, and they continued to ask her, well, how did you know we're here? As if, in my opinion, in my point of view, that they were trying to cover something. They were trying to get their story straight. And, according to the person who, told me about the story, he feels that whoever was driving that car may have even been law enforcement, or they may be relatives of law enforcement. And we all know how that goes. But here's another article which is going to explain what the police are saying and how the police are trying to, once again, paint a different narrative of the situation.
We have Malachi Mitchell, the 21-year-old found in the front seat of a car in Douglas County, is suing the person who hit him. This comes after the Douglas County Sheriff's Office says so far they won't be arresting or bringing charges against Mitchell. Fox 5's Eric Mock talked with Mitchell's mother and her attorney to learn about their search for justice.
The Sheriff's Office says they believe the person who shot Malachi Mitchell thought he was being set up by Mitchell. But his mother disputes that and tells me she doesn't believe the Douglas County Sheriff's Office will get justice for her son.
He was a proud man of God, and he was a good man.
Kenya Mitchell says her son Malachi was taken in the prime of his life. Malachi's body was discovered in the front seat of a car on January 29th after Douglas County Sheriff's deputies pulled the car over for erratic driving. Thursday, the Sheriff's Office released a video statement confirming what Mitchell and her family already knew, that the two had met so Malachi could sell the driver a gun. Investigators say after the transaction, the two struggled over that gun before
the purchaser who was also the driver of the vehicle, produced a second firearm and fatally shot Malachi Mitchell.
Deputies released the driver. Douglas County investigators say the driver told them he had thought he'd been set up and was being followed. But Mitchell says if that was the case, she questions why the driver didn't call 911.
That doesn't sound like someone that's scared for their life. That sounds like someone that's trying to cover up what they've done to someone else's life.
The sheriff's office has not arrested the driver and did not say whether they plan to.
If Douglas County will not do their job, our family and our attorney, we're doing our job, and we have filed a civil lawsuit for wrongful against.
Attorney Marcia Mignot says the wrong suit, filed Friday, is a way for the family to get answers.
If law enforcement is not going to figure out what happened, the family gets to do that in a civil proceeding. You can take depositions in the civil proceedings. We can call them in for testimony, statements, so that this family can do their own investigation.
We've requested an interview with the sheriff's office several times now to get our questions answered, but they have not yet responded to those requests. At the live desk, Eric Mock, Fox 5 News.
And I'm sure that they will not respond to that request because there's no explanation. As you hear the narrative that the police are saying that this driver who met Malachi to purchase a gun, saying that he thought he was being set up. And then the story changes to, well, after the purchase, there was a struggle over the gun. Which one was it? Did you think you were being set up and that's why you fired upon him? Or was there a struggle over the gun? Nevertheless, like his mother, even if that happened, why didn't you immediately call the police? Why are you riding around with a body? 9 times out of 10, you're probably trying to get rid of said body. And the fact that they are taking the word of this man, how do we know that he didn't try to rob Malachi? There's no, Malachi is not here to tell his story. So the fact that they would just take him in for questioning and then later let him go is definitely a red flag. And, I would only have to assume, and this is assumption, even though the population of Douglas County is, about, predominantly black, actually, I would just assume that the person that they stopped was white, because nowhere, like his mother said, on God's green earth, if police catch me with the body in my car and I say, well, I was trying to buy a gun from him, but, we struggled over the gun and, I thought I was being set up. So, I had to murk him out. Do you really believe that I would walk out that police station unscathed, uncharged, unbooked? I would beg to differ. I don't think that would happen. And so that's what leads me to believe this person may be, of the privileged persuasion, may have the complexion for the protection, or he may have some law enforcement, some relatives, or like I said, it may have been an undercover, wanting to purchase the firearm. And they do have a wrongful death suit. So that is going to give them access to the evidence, all of the, the testimonies, the dispositions, the investigations that law enforcement has. And so hopefully, once again, law enforcement saying that, well, there's no plan to arrest him. The family, I think they are looking for him. One article said that, we don't know if he's still on the run or not. So if you didn't do anything, why would you be on the run? Another article said that, some people are threatening that person's family, which is understandable because this is a man that is known. Like, you had this body in your truck, car, whatever the case may be, and you get stopped, and the police, and then like the mother said, she pinged his phone. She gets to somewhere where there's 3 police. And why didn't they tell her then what happened? It was said that later on that day is when they revealed that the person who was deceased in the car was Malachi. And again, the question that they asked her, well, how did you know we were here? What difference does it make? Where's my son? Why do you guys have my phone here? Where's he at? Like, that is a perfect time for you to tell this mother, look, we got the phone. Evidently, they know that, the parents, the mother knew that he was going to sell this firearm. And so there's, allegedly text message in the phone. So the police probably knew that, who his mother was or whatever. So there's no reason why they shouldn't have alerted her to the fact that, yeah, that is your son right then and there on the spot, instead of her having to go to the police station. And the fact that the police department of Douglas County is being mum about it is another red flag. And this happened once again on January the 29th, almost a month ago. And no arrest has been made, but you have a person with a cockamamie story saying, okay, well, this is what happened. And yeah, I'm just riding around with him. You know what? Did they ask him, what were you going to do with them? Were you taking them to the hospital? Were you driving to the police department? You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's no way on God's green earth that they could just let somebody go. And they said that the one article said that he was talking to a witness on the phone who is now part of the investigation. I'm going to show you this last clip, and this is of the memorial service, some clips from the brother. And, you guys tell me what you think about all of this in the comments.
Funeral for the 21-year-old found in the front seat of a car during a traffic stop in Douglas County took place today. Friends and family gathered at West Hunter Street Baptist Church for the celebration of life for Malachi Mitchell. Deputies say Mitchell met up with someone to sell a gun when he was shot last month. They believe the person who shot Mitchell thought he was being set up. Mitchell's mother says it was support for her son.
It's people that are behind us that we don't even know, because they know that justice needs to be served. And it's not just about Malachi, it's about all of the young boys that they feel like have no voice and no one's going to come looking for them.
The person accused of shooting Mitchell is not facing charges. The family says they are suing him and currently trying to track him down.
And prayers out to Kenya Mitchell, the mother of Malachi. I can't imagine what she's going through with this situation, but it definitely speaks of possible corruption, cover-up, misconduct, negligence, all of those things, for them allowing a person with a deceased body in their car to just drive away with no explanation, or just taking his word for what happened. Where's the camera? Where's the investigation? All of those things. So this situation, we'll try to keep up with it and keep you abreast on what's happening. But you guys, let me know what y'all think in the comments about this situation of Malachi Mitchell in Douglas County. Y'all see the number, 919-587-7782. Peace and blessings.